common day-to-day challenges?
I suppose the basic common day-to-day challenges is meeting the needs of everybody that we have. I mean, we have 70 residents, and for myself as an activities director, there's not a lot of time to do one-on-one. And even when you have, 2 med techs, 2 caregivers, person who does showers, you have people in the kitchen, there's just not enough time to give, there's not enough people to do the one-on-one attention that sometimes people need. So sometimes it's stopping and taking a minute to be with the resident and then moving very quickly on to the next activities. That's probably the biggest challenge, is the one-on-one. And that's why I really rely upon the students and really appreciate working with the students at Boise State, because they have the opportunity to do one-on-one, because that's their assignment, is one-on-one, and being here and talking with them and giving that much needed attention that people need.
Okay. And then when you plan the activities, since, like you just said, there's so many different needs and preferences and things like that to consider, and personalities to consider, do you plan them based more on how much fun the group can have, or are there other like underlying factors like quality of life or any sort of like research studies that that you've based them off of that help in situations like that?
Well, in actuality, since that's a multiple-fold question, there's multiple-fold answers. Of course we look at quality of life, and the goal is when we bring a resident in, the goal is that if it's their desire that they spend their life out here. We lost a resident last week, and she'd been bedridden for almost 2 years. So it's one of those things to where we did the best we could to meet her needs through the end of her life. When I look at activities, I have to look at the major population. What is it that's going to fulfill the needs for the majority? Because I've done activities that, 1 or 2 people participate in, those don't work. You can't do it with just 1 or 2 people. You've got to meet the majority. I also look at activities that, because they had certain routines that were already established by the time that I got here. Certain games that we play in-house, certain activities like the manicures and certain things like that were already established, and so my calendar is pretty much a skeleton, and then I fill in the blanks here and there for different outside activities or different crafts or things like that I can move around and play with. But there are certain activities that they're kind of set in stone, and you just meet the majority. And usually, I've found this in any place, and I've talked to other activity directors, most of them, you're going to have, 20% of the people that participate in everything, and you're going to have some people that participate in nothing. And that's just the way it goes. They have no desire to participate in anything. They don't do anything in regards to community, so the goal is to meet the needs of the majority. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I have a question. You mentioned the medical staff and training and everything. When it comes to the medication management program that you guys implement here, how is that? Do you guys allow over-the-counter medication in their rooms, or they have to get everything from a central area?
Okay. The way that it works is over-the-counter medications can only be in the rooms if it's ordered by a doctor. So, we have one resident that can have cough drops in her room because the doctor says, yes, you can have cough drops in your room. Most of the over-the-counter medications, no, they don't have them. They have to be monitored. They can purchase them, but they have to give them to us. And we monitor them because, of the risk of overdose, abuse, those type of things. The medications, as I said, we have a registered nurse who administers the dosages. So I'm sure you've seen the little pop things, where they put a 30-day supply, and then as they're needed. The med techs have been trained in regards to the medications. They talk about and give them, and then it's all documented. So it's very heavily monitored in regards to state corporation monitors, all of that. If there's a med error, if the wrong pill was given at the wrong time, it's heavily documented. If there's a pill found on the floor, they try to research that back to where it could have been, identify the pill, that type of thing, So medications are very heavily monitored, and that's again another one that's required by law, but in actuality it should be, and it is. So.
Do you ever run into problems with residents wanting to handle and control their own?
Absolutely. I'm sure that if you guys looked at my activities, you know that I take them shopping. We go to Walmart, we go to the dollar store, and so, yes, they have a tendency to, buy, Pepto-Bismol, or they buy, Tylenol or something, if they've got a head cold, they may, pick up some, whatever, Tylenol head cold stuff or whatever, so, it's very important, and they're good at sneaking it. So, they know that they're not supposed to have it, but if I see it, I report it, and then of course, it's not our goal to go through their stuff, it is their personal property and that type of thing, but generally they've got to throw it away, they've got to, something's got to go along, and if we catch it, then we take it, but most of them, the goal is to help them understand that we're doing it for them, for their protection, and if we can get a doctor's order for it, then it's no big deal. Let's go through the right channels to get that, And so, we have residents who have, a regular order for milk and magnesia and for Pepto-Bismol. If there's somebody's already upset, then yeah, give it to them. It's just let's make sure that the doctor says it's okay. So, because there are a lot of them, if not all of them, take a prescription medication of some kind, so the goal is, not to give them anything that will, react negatively with the prescription medications that they have, so.
Thank you.